Hello, everyone. We are back after that rather brief break. We are joined now for the CEA Collegiate Esports Association. Of course, still Corporate Esports Association, but you know how it be. And it is going to be, as the prophecy has foretold, the wild card team versus the defending champs. It's going to be UCSD or UCXD versus the Zeratools. And you mentioned at the end of the broadcast for the previous stuff that the Zeratools are kind of like an Alpha X Junior, almost an offshoot off brand. What would you call that? Like the no name brand Alpha X?
Store brand
Yeah,
Alpha X.
Yeah. We actually have a company in Canada that has their own brand, and it's called No Name Brand. That is the registered trade. Yeah. And there's some weird looking stuff. Like it looks like it was made as a joke.
Like, with the nice big yellow
exactly.
branding, right? It's just
yeah, everything's all yellow and then just all black lettering.
But you know what? I guess it works out. It works. Okay, so yeah, we're just gonna wait a little bit longer as White Ninja. Oh, there he is. Okay, sweet.
I actually think that would be great to get your. I think I want to do that for my Twitch branding now. Actually, just to have like the no name thing.
Oh God. You know, with the move towards minimalism.
That's what I'm saying, right?
I kind of wouldn't hate it.
No, I don't think. I think everyone would look at that and be like, "All right," and then it'd just be like this meme. Oh my God, that is the play.
I honestly, dude, if you can turn yourself into a meme, that is how you get viewers. You know, it's not producing quality content.
They produced a shirt that just says "shirt" on it, And then they have a long sleeve version that's shirt with long sleeves. Oh my, it instantly sold out immediately. God.
Yeah. Anyway, so we got our players. Looks like we were ready.
Yeah, and oh,
go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh,
I had nothing substantive to say.
I was just gonna say, first map is the same one as the previous series. It's 2,000 atmospheres because 1,997 atmospheres is not enough. You need the flat 2,000.
Do you know how much pressure there is on these players playing 2,000 atmospheres? Like, one atmosphere is sea level, 2,000 atmospheres is like, I don't know, the center of Jupiter in terms of actually, I'm curious now.
Yeah, what would
once we get into the game, I'm gonna figure this one out. Because one atmosphere is I forget how much psi it is, but anyway, yeah, it's sea level. 2,000 times sea level is yeah, you're gonna get crushed with all that pressure.
And I think it would be like you would be crushed in a matter of like microseconds. Like I think it would like immediately, instantaneously, just shatter every molecule of you, basically. But yeah, on that rousing thought, sorry, go on.
Oh, see, actually, I think a couple microseconds might actually be a little bit generous on the time scale.
Fair enough. All right, and here we go. Getting into game number 1. Spawning down in the bottom left. Will he crumble under the pressure? It's UCSD's Doctor Edition or Tradition. I still haven't actually decided which one I prefer.
And his opponent in the upper right, in the pink. Man, we couldn't find him at first. He is White Ninja.
I like that he rocks the color that's closest to white. I like that. That's cute.
Yeah, on ladder you actually can play white, so it's kind of disappointing that we don't have that color as an available in lobby colors. But pale pink is close enough. I'm actually, you ever notice that like yellow, for example, is the big one there, where yellow is different depending on what map it is?
Huh. I did not know that.
Like if you look at I don't know, maybe I'm trying to think of maps that are a good example. It's something I noticed that the yellow just is a different shade of yellow. But like on some maps it's very much like a kind of a mustard gold, right? Kind of that nice deeper yellow, and some maps it's just a very bright yellow.
I did not know that. That's very interesting though. That's actually Huh.
Now, I don't know if it's due to the lighting of the map, due to the map settings, or what. Or they're just multiple yellows that I've never noticed. But as far as I can tell, it is different. Maybe it's some weird thing with game heart. I'm not totally sure, but it is weird. And I don't know what causes it. I just know that I see a lot of players rocking yellow because I cast a lot of Alpha X players. So you get a lot of players rocking the yellow.
Makes sense. Makes sense. By the way, we didn't get a chance to go over the actual map in the previous series because it was a Proxy Gate Forge versus a Cannon Rush, and the game lasted under 3 minutes. But this is a really interesting map. Like they've got this bridge in the middle of the map that Zerg doesn't want to ever come near. They've got a bunch of destructible rocks. I like this map a lot conceptually. I think it might be a little bit too wide open around the third bases, and it just means though that you need to control space a little bit more aggressively, maybe as Protoss, instead of like you want to prevent Zergs or even Terrans for that matter from kind of debocking into this wide open area in front of your bases.
This is true. And Steadfast, I got a number for you because I looked it up. Because we can never have things not be unanswered here. 2,000 atmospheres is 0.004% of the pressure of Jupiter's core. So it's not quite that bad, but it's still pretty tense. It's not as bad as I was thinking it was going to be, though. Nice action catch here on this Adept.
Wow.
Well done, Dr. Edition.
That was magnificent right there, killing off the Adept for just a single Zergling. Very big mistake from White Ninja right there. And he didn't get to check the drone count, I don't think. Which is...
Yeah, I believe he...
Oh,
go ahead.
Did? No, he didn't.
I don't believe he did, yeah.
He's building a shield battery, yeah. You wouldn't build this if you would check the drone count, especially going Stargate.
Well, you know what you say, that's maybe this is just my understanding of the Stargate build is a little bit behind yours, but you know, thinking about Stargate play, you almost see the idea of a shield battery going down in the natural as kind of one of those tells that says, yeah, this is going to be a more turtle Stargate style. Like that's just one of those tells. It used to be cannons, but that was years ago. And actually, yeah, that's exactly what it's going to be. He's not going to get a third base. It's going to be double second Stargate before our third base, and this is a little bit of a deviation from that 2 Stargate trap build that has been so prevalent in the meta in the past month and a half.
Yeah, it's the funny thing is I don't mind it on this map so much since it does seem a little bit more difficult to secure your third base, like quite a bit more difficult actually. But in general, the double Stargate play is actually not much better than like double Stargate before third Nexus. You don't get a lot more Void Rays out. Like it's not like some crazy thing where it's like you have 3 more Void Rays or like you have them like 45 seconds earlier. It's only about 15 seconds earlier for 6 Void Rays.
Yep, and it's kind of one of those. It's one of the reasons why this build is so powerful and so in the meta right now, where you kind of just don't get. Zerglings are going to run on into the natural here, and Dr. Addition, he's going to catch White Ninja with his foot off the pedal, asleep at the wheel here. Now it's only 4 Zerglings in the main base and 4 Zerglings into the natural, so. I kind of would have preferred to see all the Zerglings stay together. I think they would have done a little bit better for themselves. But now they are munching away at this pylon. The pylon will go down, but only 2 probes go down. Dr. Addition, this had such potential for such significant damage, but it looks like he's going to be A-okay here.
I mean, well, he will get back into the main base, finds another probe, and a little bit more lost mining time. This was still so worth it, though, and so good. That was only, what was that, 14 lings? For 4 probes and a ton of lost mining time. Or sorry, 3 probes and a ton of lost mining time. 3 probes? 4?
That's
3
4 probes. 4 probes.
It was 4 probes? Okay.
Yeah, use the battle report. That'll tell you the
I
answer.
realized I used it, and then I was like, oh, it's 4 probes total. It's like, well, okay, but yeah, they were all killed in the last little, yeah. No, I used it, and then right as you said it, I was like, duh, it's right on there. Now
but anyway,
oh, sorry, go on.
We do have 3 Void Rays on the map, and it's only 2 Queens here defending this 4th base, so maybe there's going to be something White Ninja can maybe kind of strike back here. Actually, look at this. He's targeting. No, never mind. Both Queens have enough energy, so the Queen shouldn't go. It's going to go down anyways.
No transfuse from Dr. Addition. Oh, God, he loses both Queens, and that is going to be a cancel on this 4th base. That should not have happened, considering all the energy that was available, and that's a big loss right there. Oh, he tries to rebuild it, and it's
that's
kill,
a kill
not
too.
a cancel. Yeah.
That is so unfortunate there. White Ninja suddenly in a fantastic position in this game. Yeah, he lost some mining time, but at the end of the day, he's got his 3rd base up at a decent timing here, and he killed the 4th base. He killed 2 Queens on top of that, so he's going to be very happy. It also means we're not going to see a Queen walk come across on this map in particular. And looking at the geometry, the Queen map is honestly probably decent on this map. I think you can probably get to the 3rd base in somewhat of a decent timing. But no, that's not what we're going to see here. Just going to be a bunch of Hydras.
I will say White Ninja has a very low probe count right now. He's only on 48 workers. And Dr. Addition, while that was a big loss for him, he's gone up to +1 missile. He's got +2 on the way. He's still on 66 drones. Well, he just built 3 more. He was on 63 drones for a long time. He's actually significantly outmining his opponent for a pretty decent period of time if you look at the income advantage graph. This is... Oh, well, this is a big move out of Void Rays.
I'm almost wondering, because I'm looking at there, and he's queuing up 2 probes at a time. I'm almost wondering if in the chaos of that run by, which was pretty much when he put the 3rd base down, I'm almost wondering whether he just forgot to hotkey his 3rd base.
That's kind of what it seems like. Yeah, he's not building from his 3rd Nexus, so
there's no chrono used either, yeah.
Oh, man. I think you're right about that, and that is actually a really... Wow, he's actually floating a decent bit of chrono boost, but he does have Storm and +1 on the way. He is still in a good position, don't get me wrong, the Protoss player, but he could be in a much, much better position.
Yeah, now, of course, if Dr. Addition wants to get something done with this Hydra Force that he's building, he's going to have to move out with it before Storm is done, because, of course, charge lots +1 Storm kind of annihilate any sort of a Queen or any sort of Hydra tech whatsoever. But To be fair, Tradition here, Dr. Tradition, he is moving on into the Hive. And, you know, with the style that he's going for, considering there are no disruptors on the way, getting up to a rather quick Hive, as the Hive is now done, getting up to quick Lurker Tech as well, is actually a really good move. Wait, that's not a Hive?
No, that was a layer. That was a layer.
Man, the skin got me. I really thought that was the Hive. I'm like, oh, wow, that's a really fast Hive, but okay. Anyway, as we saw Raynor use against Zest, one of the reasons they went for that, he went for that Lurker timing so much was he realized that his opponent was just going into Storm. He was not going on into Lurker, or was not going into Disruptor Tech behind that. But look at this, 10 drones go down. That Oracle actually finally making use of itself before it does get taken down. But Oracle, 10 workers, it's not the end of the world, although you do want, of course, that Oracle to make sure that you have vision on any ensuing Lurker Tech. But Lurker Den, not on the way. There it is. Never mind. Cast a curse.
Literally, as you're saying it, you invoke that second Forge on the way for White Ninja. That is very, very interesting. Both players playing a... There we go. Finally, that third Nexus has been hotkeyed. Playing a relatively low eco game, considering. Like, I would expect both of them to be at about 80 workers, 75, 80 workers. But we're not seeing that.
Yeah, I almost wonder whether this is one of those situations where you've taken damage. Well, you got to remember also Dr. Edition lost 10 workers. So he was at about 75, 80 workers he had to rebuild. But I wonder if this is kind of one of those situations where both players are kind of realizing that they've taken some pretty heavy hits over the course of the game. Even if White Ninja didn't from that Zergling run by, he probably felt like he did. You know, whenever you eat a Zergling run by, it just doesn't feel all that great. So I'm kind of wondering whether this is a situation. Okay, scouting zealots trying to find their way on in. But one of these situations where both players feel like they're really far behind, and they're not, but they feel like they are, so they play more conservatively. They slow down their economy a little bit so they can get the army out they need to make whatever happen. And in doing so, they put themselves behind when they weren't behind in the first place.
Yes, that is a very good way of putting it. Putting yourself behind when you weren't actually behind. And it's a very interesting move coming out of Tradition here, Dr. Edition. Going for the Adaptive Talons first, which is not bad. It's just not as good, I think, as getting that Seismic Spines, unless you're looking to hit a timing with that. Funnily enough, in IEM Katowice recently, we actually saw Raynor go double Lurker Den, as both upgrades do take the exact same amount of time, and tried to take advantage of that. It didn't work out for him in that game. He didn't really make anything happen with it, but I think there is potential. And I think it's
absolutely cool. Yeah, it's a callback to the old double Hydra styles. Double Hydra Den styles. But look at this. We got a siege up coming on into this fourth base of Director Edition. And yeah, there's some detection here, but these cannons should get taken down rather... Please just kill the pylons. But anyway, the cannons will get taken down eventually. And there's not enough detection. Now there is, but it's a bunch of ground army running over a bunch of lurkers. So it's never going to be the best fight, but never mind. These storms are fan-freaking-tastic. The army of Tradition is falling apart. But no, Dr. Edition, he's not attacking two places at once. He's going to find his way on into the natural. But I feel like this move is maybe a little bit too late, as now the entire army is going to be there to defend. A couple Warpins should be able to delay this just long enough. 27 Hydras are now on the production tab for our Zerg players. He's looking to really try to do what he can to say, look, maybe I burnt enough storms from White Ninja. Maybe I'll be able to make something happen there. But Steadfast, how many High Templar are there on the map? There are 10. There are 10 High Templar on the map. That is so many storms.
Yeah, but he does have now the Lurker range finished up, which means he is going to be able to deal with those, especially with the +3 missile as well. Theoretically, even a little bit better than before. Now, his Lurkers were kind of caught out in the open a little bit. There wasn't much coverage for them. But this push, if anything, is actually theoretically a little bit scarier than the previous one, especially if that +3 missile does finish up before they fight. But there's not as many Lurkers. That's the one main thing. Oh, wow. Nice Ling run by on the 5th base. White Ninja's actually in a lot of trouble right here.
Oh, he very much is. He's being forced to split his forces, and he's not doing it all that well. He's trying to figure out, does he defend the left? Does he defend the right? And I think, actually, he's just not going to defend either. The 4th base has gone down. The 5th base is getting targeted down ever so slowly. It will go down as... No, the Zerglings, they're not going to rally.
100 HP, that was dead for sure. 100% that was dead. That was like 15 Lings left over when he stopped targeting it. Oh, that is so painful. But still a really great position and a great attack from Dr. Edition.
Oh, very much so. But it's also kind of cool if we look at this map. I would like to see Dark Tradition get on into Carapace behind this because +1 carriers are now on the map. And +1 carriers actually surprisingly absolutely shred Hydras. It's not something you think about. But without that +1 Carapace, it's not very good. Or it's not very good for the Hydras. So we're going to have to see maybe Dark Tradition move on into there. But he already does have 1 Spire on the ground. I would expect to see a second because you want to go get those double Spire upgrades. But more importantly, I just want to see 1 Lurker run on in there and try to kill things. Now, this circling run by maybe not be the best. I mean, there are a bunch of cannons here that will mess with the aggro just a little bit, but it's still getting damage done. It is forcing White Ninja to be defensive, forcing White Ninja to maybe not take advantage of how powerful his army is. And has Tradition dragged his opponent away from this 4th base fast enough? I don't think so. Yeah, the Lurkers will siege enough a little bit far away as well, so the Storms will not be warded away all that easily, and that is still so 14. There are like 20 Storms on this map, Steadfast.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential carnage. This could be a very, very sad Zerg in the right scenario. But I will say Dr. Edition is doing an excellent job right now. Now, this is important to note that Double Forge, we're about to see 3-2 upgrades on the ground, which is so funny considering the fact that White Ninja has gone almost straight up to air and like no immortals have been built in this game.
Steadfast, there's an immortal in the army.
Oh,
sorry to burst your bubble.
I literally okay. Wow, I was looking right at it. Sorry, there's been
right
exactly 1 immortal. Yeah, that's the only immortal, and it does actually have 7 kills, so it's doing quite well.
Look at this.
Oh, he moves
White
out of
Ninja.
position. Oh no. And
Oh man, what a
Oh, sorry, go on.
Oh man, what a move there too. The Zergling run by. There was like 4 Zerglings that delayed the 4th base from going down. Pulled the entire army of White Ninja out of there. But you know, Steadfast, I honestly think this is better for White Ninja at the end of the day, because he's not going to be trying to defend a base with like 2 HP on it. Right. So once he eventually gets it back up, and sure, in the middle time it's whatever. But once he gets this eventually back on up here, it's going to be that much easier for him to defend it. But he's going to lose a 2nd base here too. These Stalkers will not be able to knock that out in time.
I would really, really have liked to see Tradition. Oh, he is going after one of the Stargates. I was going to say, I would have liked to see him go after all of the Stargates here. We'll lose a couple of Corruptors to do this. Hydra's on the left side trying to find a little bit of an opening. They'll find a cannon, but they will get taken out. They only find 1 Stargate. If we could have seen all 3 Stargates go down, that would have been magnificent for Dr. Edition. But he is playing an excellent game right now. I got to say, this is the best play we've seen from him in the CEA period.
You are not wrong, and certainly, if there's a game that he's going to have to play his best on, it will be this one, as this is the every map win is so damn important here against the Zeratools with how powerful they have looked. But oh, this is a poorly thought out fight here, and I worry that this is just one of those games where you have the Protoss player take their licks, get beaten back and beaten back and beaten back and beaten back. Oh, now look at this though. The prismatic alignment has been spent, so now the Corruptors will be able to take some version of a fight. But anyway, I worry this is kind of one of those games where the Protoss player just takes their licks and takes their licks and takes their licks, but their army is getting that much more powerful. In Tradition, he does not have any spellcasters in this army. There are no Vipers, there are no Infestors, nothing that really allows you to take the fight you're looking to take. He doesn't have double Spire, so he's not going to have 3-3 Spire upgrades really quickly. And this is just a massive Protoss army, 131 supply of 3-2 ground, +1 air, +2 air on the way, and it's like 20 Storms, right? It is 15 High Templars, something like 20-25 Storms. It is going to be so difficult for Tradition to actually take the fight he's looking for. Every time he looks to engage with these Corruptors, Storms go down with Hydras, with the Archons here. They're just melting, but maybe he's going to get enough. All the carriers go down, and now the Lurkers are just going to dive on top of everything. And oh, the High Templar! They'll get, look! Oh, he got him! He got the Observers! This means that White Ninja, he cannot fight with this army whatsoever. Great target firing there from the Blue Zerg player. And the army now of White Ninja, it's not nearly as powerful as it once was. Lurkers do need a burrow, though. Lurkers, you gotta burrow. Once again, they're actually just starting to die to their Archons. That is unfortunate, but it's still 180 supply to 84, and this is where we see the economy that Tradition has been building over the course of this game really come to fruition.
That was a huge throw from White Ninja. He had such a massive, unbeatable Sky Toss army and ended up getting his Harriers caught in the back. Storms came down, and that was great, but the Archons were not there to cover. And then the High Templar, after it was just ground army left over, all went in a single file line against the Lurkers. Absolutely amazing fight out of Tradition. But White Ninja, oh man, if he looks at the replay on this, he is going to be one sad panda.
Well, Steadfast, I think the bigger story there, yes, the High Templar went into a line, but they ran into the Lurkers in a line after all the observers were gone. So you had a massive Protoss army that had kind of A-moved on top of all of these Lurkers that suddenly couldn't see the Lurkers anymore, so the last attack told them to just move on forward. So they ran on forward into the backlines of the Hydras, which meant they got aggroed on top of those Lurkers that just absolutely shredded them. So, yes, was that a mistake from White Ninja? Absolutely, but I think it was more of not canceling an attack command fast enough was the big issue there. And now, well, Tradition, he wasn't able to quite knock out this fourth base of his opponent. He did have some Hydras on the counterattack. Looks like that was cleaned up, but now it is just such a massive army here from the Zerg player, and there is no world where White Ninja can build that army that he had once again. This was a one army or you lose type of thing. And the Storms are going to be nice, of course, but it's just Zerglings. Who cares about Zerglings? The tech, the beef of the army here from Tradition, it is here. It is powerful, and it's going to look to take UCSD to a 1-0 lead.
That is an incredible performance out of Dr. Edition. Absolutely shredding through his opponent right here with this Hydra Lurker Corruptor style. And you talked about a lack of spellcasters, but that sometimes can mean a much more simplistic game. And I'm very, very impressed with what we just saw out of Dr. Edition. He has got to be very, very happy about that. And White Ninja getting kind of shocked right there.
Absolutely. So game 2 has to be on US East because it's a European player. And it will be Beckett. Okay. Yeah, and honestly, really nice splits there with the Corruptors from oh, no sub-record. Nice. The splits from the Corruptors were really nice. So yeah, the Storms were landing, but they were not quite as impactful as they sometimes are. And yes, the Archons were a little bit further back, so that did allow the Corruptors to stay a little bit longer. But between the splits and considering the fact that finally the High Templar were starting to get taken out a little bit in the end of that fight, suddenly all the carriers were able to actually get killed. And it's, carriers are kind of this weird thing, right? Where they are, in certain circumstances, they can absolutely just annihilate everyone, right? But sometimes they just feel like absolute just paperweights, and their only point there is to attract aggro. Oh wait, there was a swap on this map.
Ah, yes. To
it was not mentioned in the CEA thing. That's unfortunate.
Oh, they may have done it in the
they may have
chat
just pulled an audible.
I think so. Game 3, 7. Maybe not. Maybe not.
It's all good. I was kind of excited too. I was looking to see what Beckett Industries. You don't see a ton of it.
Yeah.
There we go. I said map swap over DM because he's a boomer, and this Play CE app keeps getting the better of him. So I didn't do it. I didn't get it wrong.
You are in fact in the right in this scenario. You're the hero we all needed.
Well, it depends, because am I what's the word? Am I to the left or right of you on the CEA broadcast? That's the big question.
If you're viewing the screen, you are on the right. I am currently now looking at you. But that is very awkward because I have to look away from where all my monitors are. So I'm just like, yes, I have no information. I'm looking at a blue sheet right now with a white border on it. Yep, it's the flag of our country. This little esports house we've assembled.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and also, man, poor Matfis in this game. This is a lamb to the slaughter here. Now, I hope Matfis can do something. This is actually kind of Matfis's role in UCSD. This has happened to him multiple times. Where they put him in there in game 2, and he has to play someone who's like 2,000 MMR higher than he is. And he generally accounts well for himself, but also, it's a guy who has Hydra, of course, has been a semi-pro. He's played for Cosmos Esports for a little bit. Is Cosmos still around, or is Cosmos? I think Cosmos is dead, right?
I think that, yeah, they are disbanded. They are disbanded as of Officially, NYK was their last member, and he left on December 12th of 2020. But yes, he was their last member.
Okay.
And well, we're gonna have spawning up in the top left, the red Protoss player. Give it up for Hydra, representing the Zeratools.
And his opponent in the bottom right, in the blue, looking to take his team to 2-0. He is the blue Terran player, Matfus.
And he's going for a build that I have seen a player called Hero go for many a time here. It is 1 barracks at home, 2 barracks on the map, and an SCV pull.
Ooh, man, yeah, this is not a build I have ever seen. I mean, I've seen, there's players like a U-Thermal, they go for like a one at home, one abroad proxy Reaper build in TVT or something. You'll see that on occasion, but this is absolutely new to me. So, Steadfast, I am glad you are better learned than I am. I'm glad you are more worldly caster than I am, because this is going to be interesting.
This is so unfortunate for Matfus, though. The entire point of this build is you have to build a supply depot very, very early on. So part of the reason why this is such a powerful build is that in the current meta, it's not as much in the last few weeks, few months, but when TY came up with that double gas opening, where he built stuff at home, basically walled out his opponent with that early supply depot, it was oftentimes a gas build. But in this scenario, not the case. It is this 3 racks pull, but we do have the probe just missing that. Sorry, you were saying something?
Oh, no, I was gonna say, and we see that in a lot of different Terran builds now, to be totally honest with you. You don't even get the full wall, you just kind of move your SCV to just barely start it, because you're not trying to spend an XCV on the build. But this is good. Oh, no, it's not gonna get scouted.
Does he go on the low ground? Oh, it goes on the low ground.
I think he goes on the low ground. Yeah, this is not gonna get scouted here whatsoever.
That's a misclick. Oh no!
Oh, kill the Marines! Oh no! Oh no, Matfus, he was fine. He was unscouted.
And now there's a shield battery in the main, 2 shield batteries in the main base, and the second gateway was already being produced. Yeah, this is not going to work, but a very, very smart build from Matfus. If he had started that supply depot earlier, and he had the money to do so, and like you said, he could have just started it for a second, and then that would have been it. We could be looking at a 2-0 lead and one of the biggest upsets in CEA history, but instead we now have this Stalker discovering the Marines. They were trapped behind their little prison wall there. This is going to be a tough one.
Yeah, I was saying, unfortunately, it is shooting fish in a barrel there with the Marines sitting there behind that. And Stalkers, of course, are infinitely microable against Marines. They have longer range, and if you are on top of things, the Marines should just never really be able to get on top of that to make that happen. So look at this. All the Marines now has 3 Stalkers on the map. Oh no, Matfus, you had such a cool build. And if not for like 1 scouting mistake, you would be absolutely in such a good position in this game. But the SCV pull, he's gonna get the surround Steadfast. No, he's not. Never mind. I got really excited.
I think it did too. I was like Hero or Squirtle versus MVP vibes right there. But not going to be the case, and even without these shield batteries, with how much damage has been done already to this army, Matfus is going to have an extraordinarily difficult time. And he can't siege the natural. He needs to kill the Protoss now. He's only mining off of 4 workers.
There's still a world where he can kind of mineral walk through, and I could have taken advantage of that on the ramp, but no, he's just going to kill the natural. I think this is one of those, I don't know if you watch any other esports Steadfast, but sometimes you'll see, like in a Dota or something, where one team's really far behind, so they'll go and they'll try to track down and smoke down and kill the captain, and then GG out. And it's kind of like here, I'm going to kill the natural, I'm going to GG out. GG Hydra, he takes game 2, and we are at 1-1.
That we are. And I gotta say, I really enjoy the build choice. I think that was pretty darn good. And am I what? I feel like Hydra has been a higher level player. Yeah, he's taken games off of like Christianer, so yeah, he's a pretty darn good player.
He's very, I mean, again, that's what I was talking about. He was pro, semi-pro. He was on Cosmos for a while. So.
But yeah, like I said, nice build from pardon me, Matfus, and not bad at all. Now, this is the part that everyone looks forward to. Everyone loves it. This is the part where we go into the 2v2s.
That it is. And of course, man, there is nothing better than 2v2 in CEA. It is, you get such weird games. You get such funky stuff. And who knows what's gonna work? I have no idea. I never know. All I know is we're just like panicked looking around the map trying to see who's doing what. And it's crazy.
It's very, very fun. Now it is going to be for the Zeratools, Lucas Dart and White Ninja going up against, I believe it is Foodworks and,
I assume
Blue Sea.
Yeah, is Blue Sea Foodworks?
No,
or is it Chen Jefferson? Sorry, is Chen Jefferson Foodworks?
Yeah.
Okay. So Blue Sea is in the lobby. We don't have Foodworks yet. There he is.
There we go. Just got him in. White Ninja. Just in.
Still waiting on White Ninja.
Asking for an invite, but the lobby link is there.
Maybe he just doesn't know how that works.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he may have been looking at the old game. Didn't have it from before.
Yeah.
Not sure who Lucas Dart is. Oh, is that's not Sippy Cup? No,
Sippy is not Sippy is not Lucas Dart. Can't confirm. Lucas Dart is a European player.
Okay. So, okay, we're playing on Central then. Yeah, so this one's a little bit funny. Just the way that the servers are going to work out. We do have UCSD, of course, being University of California, San Diego, is all on the West Coast. They live in California. But because it's a wildcard team, and it's going to be a little bit of a funkier setup where they're kind of all over the world. So we have this scenario where there's two West Coast players. Warbuff, I'm not sure where they are from, but then White Ninja was from Europe, I think.
No, Hydra was from Europe. White Ninja was somewhere in the U.S. So we played on Central for the first map. So, and actually, Warbuffle is from the U.S. as well. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
So we're gonna be good there. A couple new players here for UCSD. Blue Sea and Foodworks. I don't believe I've ever seen them play in the CEA before. So we got everyone saying they're ready. We're gonna load on into that. But yeah, do you know anything about these players, Steadfast?
I do not. I feel like I remember both of their names, and I think we cast some of their 2v2s in the previous season, but I can't recall 100%. I do know that Warbuffle, well, I didn't know how his name was pronounced until just now, so thank you. But I do know that Warbuffle played in the NA Contender. And White Ninja, obviously, we saw him in the first game. So, yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how these players kind of match up and mesh up. It is a Zerg Terran versus a double P.
Absolutely. But now, Steadfast, we're loaded into our third of 5 games, our first 2v2, and spawning in the upper left for the Zeratools. He is the War Buffalo. And his partner, sneaky the band may be, in the pink, he is White Ninja.
And their opponents spawning down in the bottom right, representing UCXD. It is the blue Terran player, Foodworks, and their partner, Blue Sea. Damn it! I did everything seamlessly until that last one.
Man, you gotta use the mouse scroll.
No, it's because I had to jump for. Yeah, I used mouse scroll and then I had to jump further, and I like left myself hanging there with the intro because I'm used to them being so close to each other. So I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I have to go like 1 screen and then 2 screens, 3 screens. Okay, I'm 4 screens away, and then I forgot to just tap the end button to zoom in instead of pressing it and holding it. Oh wow! Oh god! Oh god! The SCV! Oh, it's a murder. A murder has occurred. And now he's gonna. Okay, I was gonna say if War Buffalo had gotten the, he comes in and just starts harassing in place of his ally. That would have been hilarious.
That would have been great. So actually, Steadfast, we do have some information on this wildcard team that was not here earlier today. I'm a bit... so I find it now as we're in the game, but War Buffalo is from Texas Wesleyan. Lucas Dart was not here because it's like super late. It's late his time, and he's got midterms, so they decided to let him sleep during midterms, which is absolutely unacceptable, by the way. We all know that StarCraft is 10 times more important than anything else. As oh wait, never mind. That's a scouting drone. I was like, oh no, did War Buffalo steal his opponent's base? But no, that's just a scouting drone.
By the way, we do have the Zeratools team kind of rocking that baby reveal color setup here, as we have the teal and light pink. Kind of like, is it a boy or a girl? We'll see. Actually, meanwhile, we have the traditional blue-red.
Yeah, it's blue-red and then off-blue and off-red is the game there. But you know, Steadfast. It's kind of funny. So we saw the talking about game 2, by the way, and you know, Matfist did have a cool build. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for him. But actually, apparently, that was kind of a mistake by the wildcard team, where they try to match MMR week by week, because they're like, look, we know we're not going to get seeded into playoffs here. It's too strong for that. So we're just going to try to play players that we expect are going to give good games. So they expected Bloom to be in the second map, and then it was Matfus, and they're like, oh, oops.
Whoops, we accidentally brought the bazooka to a chopstick fight. Oh no.
Yeah, but you know, in their defense, they're like, look, at least we don't have Starkiller here, so there is that. But yeah, Flume versus Madfist. Flume's actually a very good player. Has been not been the ace, of course, for UCSD, because they've always had Vindicta. Although I'm excited to see when we're going to start to see Vindicta play on in here. He's not on the roster yet, but I've been told that he's only going to be playing off race this season, because he's like, look, I'm a pro player, not really work. Oh no, there's a couple drones. We're not pulled back into the mineral line in time. There we go. Now we're good.
Oracle finds, I think it was just the one drone right there, so that's not that bad. It is going to be Mass Phoenix, though, out of White Ninja. And we're seeing Colossus and Twilight Council out of War Buffalo. And as far as I'm concerned, Blue Sea is like Blue Sea. Like that's how I read this in my in my brain.
But Blue Sea's red, Steadfast.
That's the tricky part, isn't it? That's the weirdness. We do see Foodworks going for like a very much 1v1 build with the... Oh, never mind. That's not a Widowmine drop. That is... Oh, wow. Oracle actually finding quite a bit of damage. This Widowmine does not cover everything. Nice job from White Ninja right there. Circumventing that. Getting... Wow, that's going to be 7 SCVs by the time he takes all of this out. Damn, that is... No, sorry. 10 SCVs have gone down. Oh, my God. That's
the
really
one downside of... Yeah, no, you're right. It is the one downside, of course, of NVN matches is you don't get the nice pop-ups on the side when things die. So that makes things a little bit difficult. Oh, no, the poor Observer. And actually, Steadfast, I'm telling you, I know what the War Buffalo White Ninja strat is here, right? White Ninja going for Mass Phoenix, although there's a void around the way, so maybe I'm wrong. Probably wrong. And War Buffalo, he's going for Disruptors, not going for Colossus. So I'm going to tell you what the strat is. White Ninja is going to run on in there with, like, maxed out Phoenix, going to lift up every single army unit of Blue Sea or Foodworks, and Disruptor Balls are going to go on underneath it, and then he's going to mass drop all the units on top of the exploding Disruptor Ball. That is the play that the two players are going for here, and if that actually happens, I'm going to be so excited. I don't think it's actually going to happen, but I want it so badly, Steadfast.
The Max Pax Wombo combo.
Yeah, you were. Yeah,
it was the one casting that. I was the lucky soul who got to witness that firsthand.
Oh man, that was so cool. But instead, no, it's going to be Colossus drop. Well, Disruptor drops, and then maybe Colossus drops as well. As we do have, of course, War Prison Speed is just about done. And how many Disruptors on the map? We have one Disruptor. I'm surprised he didn't get a second if he was going for Disruptor drops there, but no, it's just going to be the one. And even the one can do a lot of damage.
Oh, it can have a ton of fun. And, well, will we see what's happened with this? So far, nothing really. An attempted Ling run by coming in here. Will run into some charge lots. It's funny. In many ways, many of the players are kind of playing 1v1 styles in this 2v2. A White Ninja.
Well, you say that. We do, of course, have White Ninja. That is a very 2v2 game where he's going for 2 base, Fleet Bacon, double Void Ray, +1 air, and just relying on War Buffalo to keep him safe as he gets on into, 27,000 Void Rays, where everything just gets deleted immediately. Oh, that Orca will go down, though. Nice nice spec there from Foodworks. But Foodworks actually insanely supply blocked and has no plans on getting anything more. We don't have any supply depots on the way, no command centers on the way. So 70 out of 70 will be the play for Foodworks for quite a while in this game, and they're still not noticing this. So that is a massive problem here. Blue Sea got a little more room, but also Blue Sea only on 44 workers here. That's their bases, yes, but only on 44 workers. So when we look at the supply here, War Buffalo, White Ninja combined 200 supply, Blue Sea Foodworks at like 150. It's kind of not looking good for a UCSD 2v2 team right now.
Not so much, not so much. This Disruptor drop, I don't think it's still really picked anything off yet. By the way, War Buffalo at 72 probes and just cooking, doubling the worker supply of Foodworks right there. Now, this is one of these maps where it's actually not that great to go for something like Disruptor drops because of these, even with the Warp Prism speed, these deceleration zones really make things very difficult to maneuver. Like, it is just like moving through molasses with that.
Well, you know what, Steadfast? I guess the argument is if you have Warp Prism speed and you're in a slow zone, that's just a normal Warp Prism.
Pretty close. I would be curious to see what the math actually would be.
Yeah, I don't really know. Now, it is interesting. It feels like White Ninja is always like one step behind on his tech. Oh, this is actually going to be he's just going to drop it on top of the tank and then kill a bunch of Marines. No!
Oh, no!
Foodworks not paying attention. That is just about the most possible damage that you would ever... Oh, no, never mind. The warp goes down. It's totally fine. It's absolutely fine. This was just a bait from Foodworks and Blue Sea. They're like, look, I'm going to lose 10 Marines. I'm going to lose 23 Marines in that. To bait your Warp Prism into my opponent or into my partner's spores. That was the play. 100%.
You know what? Blue Sea saw that Foodworks was supply blocked and was like, here, I'm going to let this drop happen and my spore trap will come in.
Yeah, but now it's three carriers on the way, as well as double Colossus from War Buffalo, and this is actually pretty scary. It's actually going to be 2-1. Wait, did White Ninja ever even get... Okay, he did get Warp Gate. But we have so many carriers on the way here. They will be 2-1 carriers, which means these interceptors will not die all that fast. The carriers themselves won't die all that fast, and they will just absolutely shred the army of Foodworks. Now, I do like this idea that Foodworks has gone for, where he's a decent amount of Widow Mines. And that could be useful. Now, I don't know that Foodworks and Blue Sea are actually aware that there are carriers on the map here. And actually, yeah, it's 5 Colossus. It's a bunch of carriers. It's against a bunch of Hydras and Marines. Tell me, Steadfast, who wins that fight?
Well, one player wins that fight. The other one attempts to arrest the others for war crimes because of how badly it ends up being.
Now, one thing I do like here is both armies, War Buffalo and White Ninja, here in the middle of the map. So a bunch of Hydras will now find the soft underbelly here of White Ninja. This base should go down, but now we have the army. It's going to come on back, but hey, they're just a couple Phoenix, and that means they should get targeted down rather quickly. But looks like we had a recall of 2 of the Colossi, and this is all going to get absolutely eviscerated. Yes, the third base does go down, but I think this is one of those situations where you losing the base does. Oh, he's going to find the slow zones too. Oh, no.
That was very painful. And War Buffalo currently maxed out. White Ninja 144 supply. And honestly, I think War Buffalo could potentially solo both teams at this particular moment. Just in terms of pure army value. But he doesn't need to. He's got a partner going Sky Toss, and we are seeing most likely beginning at the end. Big Stim coming in from Foodworks. He is going to get his army obliterated. And, well, that's going to be the first 2v2, I think, going in the favor of the Zeratools here.
Absolutely. Now, Steadfast, I gotta say, I love the teal color on War Buffalo with those Archon skins. It just looks so damn good. So, okay, I guess that says everything about this game. Yeah, we have the army here of White Ninja, War Buffalo, crushing on in, and what are we talking about? How good teal looks on the Archons. But honestly, there's not a whole lot that Blue Sea and Foodworks can do at this point. The Colossi can't win this fight by themselves, and that never really feels good because, of course, Colossi are always extremely squishy units, but, you know, when there's just not enough here, there's not enough there. And there we have it. GG. Blue Sea Foodworks, they will tap on out, and our wildcard team is going to take a 2-1 lead in this series in this week.
Yes, they are, and they're now on match point, on their way towards coming in putting themselves into first place with a 3-0 scoreline.
Yeah, we're talking about first place now.
Exactly. Hey, come on, guys.
Guys, please. I need to play some StarCraft.
And yeah, next up is going to be Sippy Cup and Exiled with...
please let me find this map.
It looks like T-Dragon... Oh, wait, Oratorio. Okay, yeah. T-Dragon is going to be playing today with Matfus. So it's going to be Matfus and T-Dragon up against Sippy Cup and Exiled. And, well, Sippy Cup and Exiled are pretty high-level players.
Yeah.
They're both around my MMR. Exiled a little bit higher at about 5.2k. Sippy Cup hovering around that 5k mark. And Matfus and T-Dragon are both quite good players, but this is going to be a little bit of a challenge for them.
Now, one thing we do have to pay attention to here is this is 2v2, and Steadfast, we have seen some of our biggest upsets in the entire CEA when we are looking at this 2v2 matchup. And that makes a lot of sense, right? Because, well, 2v2 is a weird matchup. And in fact, when we look at the late filled in team report, you have even the Zeratools that are talking about this. They're like, yeah, we're an Imba team, absolutely. But we're still pretty worried about 2v2 because we don't understand the meta of it. We don't know how we don't know how 2v2 gets played because we're all 1v1 players. And we have seen some crazy builds, specifically out of UCSD, I believe. No, I'm U Chicago, but UCSD as well, where you see these builds that it would never work in a 1v1, but it does work in the 2v2. And it's absolutely one of those formats where actually spending some time over the course of the week to prepare for your matchup really pays dividends because, again, most players don't understand that matchup.
Yeah, and it's a weird one. And like you said, the big team that is so good at it is the one that prepares the most. And just for example, we had a Void Ray, like a 1-base Void Ray committal, like 2 Stargate Void Ray, plus a big Roach Ling Ravager play from a Zerg Protoss team. And because it was actually, I think it was this map? It was a map where there was an in-base natural, like behind.
It was not this. This is the first time that Oratorio has shown its head.
Okay.
Yeah.
But a same concept where there was a base behind, and it looked like the Zerg player was going up to 3 bases, and the Protoss was going up to 2. But realistically, it was the Zerg player on 3 hatcheries with like 35 drones, I think, because I'm pretty sure it was a 2-gas Ling Roach Ravager, and the Protoss player was only on 1 base and 22 probes. So the Terran Protoss opponents, who once again were quite a bit higher rated on paper, were they were macroing hard. They were going up into layer, into upgrade, or sorry, not layer. Was it a Zerg player team? I'm
trying to remember. I was there. Yeah, I cast that game. I'm like, it was a really cool strat. I just cannot remember.
There was definitely a Zerg player because I remember they went up into 1/1 upgrades and layer, like the opposing team did, and they just got absolutely shellacked and completely bamboozled by this very, very cool inventive strat. And well, this is not the same team. That's the only thing to note. They don't have someone who is a dedicated kind of I guess focus player, like who like crafts the strategies.
I think it was Burning Bridges was the map. I think that was the week where we had double maps.
You are right
on everything.
It was definitely, you're right about that. It was definitely Burning Bridges. That is 100%. I remember highlighting how the bridges were burning. You were like, yeah, take a look at this stuff. And I was like, oh, what stuff? And I was like, whoa, that's neat to see. And, well, we are getting into game number 4 here. So without further ado, why don't you introduce our first player in the top right?
My pleasure. Spawning in the upper right, in the red, the Zerg player and the captain of UCSD. He is T-Dragon. And his partner in the blue, the Terran player, rounding out this team from UCSD. He is Matfis.
And their opponents spawning down in the bottom left. Representing the wildcard Zeratools, it is Sippy Cup. And their partner, Exiled. Rocking the Hey Guys portrait from Twitch. You love to see the little memes like that just kind of snuck in, smattered through. By the way, I want to give a big shout out. Does it appear on this map? Oh. Damn, I'm looking for it here. There is a member of the CEA community who went ahead and created a logos mod, and I just want to give a little shout out to them. Like they're just doing it of their own volition, and it's really, really awesome. Damn Glam, thank you so much for that. Very, very cool to see, and well, you're a legend.
Yeah, it's absolutely awesome to see that happen. It's not the hardest thing to do, but it certainly is a super finicky thing. It takes some time, and Damn Clam taking the time out of his day to make the CEA production that much better. Honestly, it's awesome. It definitely saves us some time, although we never ended up doing it because, you know. Anyway, so it makes our production a lot better, and he is an awesome person, a massive benefit to the CEA, and that's an awesome little spray right there.
Yeah, I love that. I think sprays are something that's actually underutilized by pro players. I unironically think that against the right player, you could win games that you would otherwise lose with the right spray. Like if you beat a player who is susceptible to tilt in a game, and you like swap to a really obnoxious spray, I think that would actually be enough to put them on tilt and affect their play for the rest of the series.
I honestly have unironically because you can actually now drop sprays with overlords. So I have unironically messed around with trying to do trying to figure out whether there was some way I can like mass BM overlord drops or overlord sprays. But you can't really macro it well enough because they're like internal delays and things. It doesn't really work all that well. Nice catch, by the way, with the teamwork there from Exiled and Sippy Cup.
Yeah, we were talking about how teamwork is so important here. Sippy Cup zoning that Reaper, keeping it from getting too far into the base, and then Exiled with the double Adept, able to get the trap here. By the way, to note, Exiled did open up double gateway here. Very much a PvP-esque style opening, and even a robo for safety. While Sippy Cup going with the more economic-focused gate Nexus Cybernetics core. Oh, that's nice for Exiled, finding one of these. And he's going to be able to find quite a bit of damage with these Adepts. Oh, man, T-Dragon, he's going to lose a lot of drones right here. I'd love to see a cancel on the Adepts, but Exiled is... Oh, he's going to shade into a kind of dead spot in this bottom right. This is going to be a lot of damage.
Yeah, this is just one of those situations where you're like, I don't expect to see this many Adepts at this timing in the game, so I don't have the Zerglings, and I haven't scouted that there are 2 Adepts. Although, realistically, he should have known that. Oh, nice recall. Or I should say, I don't really know why he recalled, but I guess Zergling speed is done, so that makes a little bit of sense there. But you would have expected to see the call out. Okay, my Reaper died to there are 2 Adepts on the field. So, yep. Okay, T-Dragons is now going to have to know at that point, okay, I got to build 8, I got to have 8 lings. I got to have 10 lings on the map. Having only 4 means I'm going to lose a fairly significant amount. But either the call out didn't happen or T-Dragon didn't react appropriately. And, well, he lost, 5 drones and a couple Zerglings for it? That is, by itself, not the best situation, especially when you're trying to punch up.
Yes, exactly. I think that's a good way of putting it, is when you're already at an MMR deficit, and it's a tough one. 2v2, like you said, like you've been oh no, the Observer from Exiled, a little bit unfortunate right there. Nice job from T-Dragon, though, to use the Queen to push it into that Observer, or into the Spore Crawler. So good job from T-Dragon there. Although it may have just been that it wandered into it and it's all coincidental. But, you know, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's a lovely dude. So we'll just give him the benefit of the doubt.
Absolutely. And I'm kind of hoping we get his smile at the end of things, because that means we've gone to Game 5. You know, Steadfast, this is the second observer that has wandered into spores and died in this 2v2 series. We had one happen last game as well. So it's just a tradition that the wildcard team, the Zeratools, do in their 2v2s. They want to make sure at least one observer dies to a spore at a certain point in the game.
And, well, we do have these Phoenixes showing up. Their first shock, because they were unscouted. It's picking off a Queen and I think an Overlord as well. Not bad. But, I mean, you're always looking for more, but Phoenixes are the kind of things that continue to get damage. And they are so good at finding holes. And here is a great example of that. Gonna find a Queen. Oh, Transfuse. Will be enough to keep it alive. Does finish off the Overlord, but nice job on the Transfuses there from T-Dragon. However, oh, he's gonna dance back in, but he will lose a Phoenix for it. Yeah, that wasn't worthwhile. Nice job from T-Dragon.
Now, ooh, what do we have here? Is that a disruptor drop to get all the queens? Oh, we're not. Oh, okay. We're not gonna see what I was looking for, but still, all the queens are gonna go down here. What a play from Exiled and Sippy Cup. That being said, though, I do think I still believe this. Okay, I guess I was. Why do we have that recall? But I guess he saw the drop on the left-hand side. I don't think T-Dragon has responded to this double Phoenix pressure enough. Generally, the math says you want 1 spore per base per Stargate if your opponent's going Phoenix. Oh, actually, yeah, he did not know that. So nice move here from Mathis. He's going to be able to annihilate every drone at that third base of Pacifica, but it's still the third base. He still only is on 2 bases. Disruptor shot's going to be nice enough. He's going to force the pickup, and now, well, Phoenix means drops don't happen.
Yeah, that looked really nice. Picked off a good number of probes, but then he loses the entire drop. And that is always painful. Now, there are some scenarios in 2v2 where specifically Zerg players can really flourish, where otherwise they might not be able to. Let's say they have a lot of problems dealing with harass or staying alive in the early game. But if they can get up to a good drone count, they can play very, very well. Now, if T-Dragon, I don't know if he's one of those players necessarily. Man, I love this Phoenix Disruptor combo. And the Phoenixes, they're actually just going to pick up everything. Oh, wow, that actually hit both Hydras. Damn, and the Creep Tumor. My God, that was really, really nice, like maxing the range out right there.
Yeah, weren't you talking about in pregame? So Exile, I believe you were saying Exile is one of those players that just loves disruptors and tries to force them every which way. So I'm not surprised to see him just be an absolute maestro, an artist with those funky little disruptor balls. Now the Adepts will find their way out into the main base. More and more damage here getting suffered by T-Dragon, not by Matfist, but this makes a lot of sense, right? T-Dragon has been Masters before. He's a fairly decent player. And Matfist is certainly not terrible, but T-Dragon is the better player, so it makes sense to target him, right? It makes sense to target the better player and knock them out of the game, so then you only have to deal with the notionally worse player.
And this is a testament to how good of a job Sippy Cup is doing with these Phoenixes. They're almost all out of energy. He has gotten so much value with them. Oh, the disruptor drop. We missed it, but we see the corpses on the floor. How many SCVs just went down? Only 4 or 5. But that's still really nice. And more disruptors than army units almost. We've got 7 disruptors and then 6 stalkers and 2 adepts.
Oh man, this is the worst. It's one, especially with all these Phoenix here. It's one of those games where T-Dragon Mathfist are looking at this, they're like, how in the world do I ever engage? My entire army is either lifted up, or I'm forced to kite back and run away from the disruptor balls. And there are enough disruptor balls that is almost continuous disruptor shots going on here. But nice Zergling run by here. Will show up a little bit, but there are enough Phoenix that honestly the Phoenix can clear this out, which is crazy because I mean, who kills Zerglings with Phoenixes?
A team that is this far ahead. Oh man, that's a lot of disruptor balls. And well, even getting 1 Hydra with each of them because he's got so many disruptors is worthwhile. And well, this is this is getting out of control at this point. We are still in a situation where with the right plays, the Zerg Terran team can make it happen. But that window is closing more and more, and the disruptors are looking to slam that door closed.
Oh no, Steadfast, I don't know if you're aware, but it is still winter despite how warm it has been for the last week. But there are no windows open in winter, none whatsoever here. Now the Phoenix, they can't do a ton against this army. Actually, a couple of them will go down, but carriers are on the way as well. All the medevacs are going down. Yeah, there's a tank on the high ground, but It doesn't really matter, as the disruptors may be able to eventually clear that off. Of course, the blink stalker disruptor shots coming on in, shot after shot after shot. It's like a college party when COVID was not a thing. I think that's shot. I feel like that was probably the worst metaphor I've ever used in a StarCraft cast, but there's always room to go down steadfast. There's always room to diminish from here.
Oh wow, that was that was a pretty big disruptor shot. Sorry, that got like 4 hydras. Yes, I agree. You can always sink lower if you really set your mind to it, and that is a lot of carriers already on the map. Exiled is on the verge of winning this game right now himself with this mass disruptor play. And behind it, his opponent has 4 carriers at a time. Matfus, oh my god, the carnage coming through is devastating.
You know, and honestly, fairly decent splits there for Matfus, but there are just too many disruptors, and it's not. Oh, that's going to be a big one, though. Stalkers are going to blink forward on top of this thing. Now, we do have the rest of the army here for Matfus stemming on in, and that is a surprising amount of bio, but the disruptors are just keep chunking away at it. It's no longer a surprising amount of bio, as everything is dying. The third base of the Zerg will get canceled once again, and there's just nothing left here for T-Dragon for Matfus. Sippy Cup is sitting. Oh, God, the carriers are here, too. Sippy Cup at 200 supply. Matfus and T-Dragon themselves only at 120 supply. GG. That's going to be the end of it. 3-1 for the wildcard team.
Carrier has derived and absolutely just destroys everything right there. Wow. That was a very fun 2v2. Maybe not for the UCSD team, but definitely fun to cast and commentate and see. But that's gonna do it for now for our match. The Zeratools do end up as I think if you look at these teams on paper, you would say as expected, do end up taking this one down. And well, I've got some good news, and well, no, I've got some good news. We are still going to get to see that T-Dragon smile. We're despite the fact that they did lose, I am still going to do the interview with them. And well, for a little bit, we're just going to put up a break screen. I will kick Behemoth off the call, just, violently kick him off there. And needlessly, of course. He's great. But we will be back with the interviews, and then we will do our sign-offs. So thank you very much for tuning in. Hope you've enjoyed it. Stick around for the interviews, and we will be back in just a couple of minutes. And we are back, and I am joined by T-Dragon, the illustrious leader of the UCSD Tritons. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. We missed that smile, and glad we can get you back on here. Obviously, never fun to do lose the series, but of course the Zeratools are a very tough opponent. How's the team doing?
We're good. We're good. We went into this match with no expectations, of course. The wild card team, the Zeratools, they're just they're crazy stacked. You know, it's almost as if there's some sort of standard to be upheld, right? When you're in that team, you have to be Grandmaster or whatever. It's quite insane. Overall, we were just excited to have this opportunity to play a team that is new, play a team that encompasses players of all different universities, and some I believe are even players based in the EU region. And regardless of skill level, it's always exciting to see new faces in the team league. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's absolutely, and I mean that's a really great way of putting it. To be honest, like it's a very very positive attitude, and I like that. If it was me, I'd be like, yeah, get these overpowered players out of my league. It's salty. I'm
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys have always had a great attitude, and I mean that helped lead to you guys becoming the champions last season. And I know the Zeratools, they are a daunting opponent. Are we still looking to repeat to turn it into a two-peat, maybe a three-peat for championship?
I would not be opposed to that. I think we've because of course while they didn't show their full roster today, neither did we, right? So I think I think going into the playoffs, there's definitely room for more exciting matches between our two teams. I would not be opposed to it. I think that it would require some legal, if you will, finagling. But it would be exciting, at least. I'm not too sure about balance, but hey, StarCraft is not balanced either, right? In the opinions of many. So, yeah.
That's a good way. I like the addition of the opinions of many. That takes it from going from like a salt post to like a, oh no, that's just a commentary on the community, which is very correct,
go, yeah.
by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think Beowulf was mentioning in the chat. I haven't had a chance to talk to you about it. But is Vindicta on the squad this year? Is he eligible to play?
He is eligible to play. We discussed this a little bit, and I believe we came to the conclusion that he will be off racing for the season. And he's more focused on his own professional matches, professional leagues, and whatnot. Since, of course, StarCraft being mostly a 1v1 game, those are more important for his personal career, which we totally respect. And I think that we'll be excited to have him on later in the season for sure. But for now, it's mostly just trying to get the rest of the team together, onboarding some new players. Actually, I'm very happy that we've been able to recruit some new players. Like I said earlier, always exciting to see new faces, regardless of rank. And yeah, so we do expect Vindicta back soon, hopefully.
Perfect, awesome. Has he decided on which race he's gonna play as, or is that like a secret kind of thing?
You know what? If it's a secret, it's a secret to me as well. I think that, being a Zerg main myself, I would love to see his Zerg, especially because Terran versus Zerg is his best matchup, I believe, statistically. So I think that him playing as Zerg will be very interesting to see how he approaches those same interactions between Terran and Zerg units. We saw some amazing Zerg versus Terrans in IEM Katowice. I don't know if you guys followed, but there were some pretty amazing series there. So I think that's my personal bias. As for his actual off race, I would have to assume it's Protoss because just the mechanics are a little bit more similar when it comes to production.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
especially the worker production is a lot more. Yeah.
Exactly.
But he's such a fast player, like, and his micro's so good that I'm sure he could pick it up in
Yeah.
a reasonable amount of time. Now you
Right.
mentioned some new additions to the team. Tell me about it. Tell me who you picked up.
Sure, sure. So one of them is Foodworks. That name is an inside joke. It's a UCSD joke. So Foodworks is a Diamond 2 Terran. We got to see him play in, I believe, Game 3 today. The first 2v2.
Yes.
And he's actually been around at UCSD for a while. And he never had a chance to join the team because of time commitments and whatnot. So we're very happy to have picked him up. He actually knows the legendary dragon god himself. So all of us, we all sort of know. Yunhao was his name, right? So hence the clan tag Yunhao. So a little bit of history there, just some going to like offline events and messing around on StarCraft. Yeah, so that would be Foodworks, and then the other addition is Blue Sea 95. So he is I think a gold or platinum Terran / Zerg. Very exciting. So he's actually entering this league with the sort of mindset of like, I can't really decide between Terran or Zerg, but I will give both a shot and see how it works. So very exciting to have him on as well.
That's actually really cool. That's throwbacks to Brood War when Rhett would play Terran versus he played Zerg, of course, and he would play Zerg versus Terran, Zerg versus Protoss, and then versus Zerg he would play Terran because it was like, I just prefer it.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Obviously a little bit trickier to make that happen because you don't necessarily know the races, but maybe that's something you could arrange between your opponents. I don't know. That's a cool concept to see if you could get that arranged.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be worthwhile, especially like race picking is just a cool concept overall, and the ability to play multiple matchups.
Right.
Now you talked about Foodworks. So traditionally I've always asked the question a little bit like, tell me a fun fact about the university. And this transitions perfectly into that. Tell me about Foodworks. What's going on there?
I'm actually very happy that you asked. So Foodworks is the name of one of the on-campus dining halls. And for those who don't know, UCSD is, I think, the largest campus in in terms of both population, undergrad population. So like we're like 40,000 undergrads or something crazy like that.
Wow.
Number one, that. Number two, acreage. So just like square footage. Like the campus is huge. Some people drive around campus just to get from class to class.
Wow.
And so Foodworks is one of the many dining halls on campus, and we really treat them more like restaurants because instead of meal swipes where you swipe once and then you can sort of treat the dining hall as a buffet, you can get whatever you want, you actually pay in terms of dining dollars, which is basically a similar system to like real world money. So right. And so Foodworks is one of those dining halls that is infamous for, well, more infamous than the other dining halls for its inflated prices and its, not nutritionally optimal cuisine. I'll just put it that way. And yeah, I think Jeff, his real name is Jeff. I think he actually spent some time working at Foodworks, so he chose it as his in-game name. So.
Oh, that's very fun. That's very cute.
Right.
I know exactly what you're talking. I think that the dollar thing is a lot better because like it teaches budgeting and all that jazz.
Right.
that is very cool, and that actually like sends me back to university days a little bit, going to like dining halls, and then we had somewhere that was in our thing. It was called the Pit, and it nutritionally suboptimal would be a great way of putting some of the food from there.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Right.
But that is actually really cool. And to speak to your point, I just looked it up while you were saying 1,976 acres. That is the size of UCSD. That is staggeringly large. That is huge.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And we're not even. I don't think that even includes other specific campuses, such as the medical campus, such as the Scripps Institute of Oceanography, where I study at. It might not, but in the end, like it's a lot of acreage. So.
yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Well, it has honestly been a pleasure chatting with you. Always a pleasure. And before we let you go, is there anyone you want to shout out on the team? Any besides the new players, all that jazz? Anyone you want to or I mean the new players as well? Anyone you want to just say a special shout out to?
Yeah, I think that as we saw in game one today, Taylor, Dr. Edition is his in-game name. He's been having very good showings. It's almost as if his StarCraft skills, as in his mind and his fingers all encompassing, it's as if they took a pause between the last season's finals and this game just today, game one, because he went up against very tough odds and he came out on top. I think that either Dr. Edition is his Smurf or he's not being truthful about something, because he always says the same thing. He always says, oh, I've been swamped with my studies lately, and then he comes out on top miraculously somehow. I think that's super cool. I also want to shout out to Matt. Matfus is his in-game name. He's been showing regularly, like every single week, just very consistently. He's a very reliable player, and I really appreciate that. So
nice. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, no, I can't believe I forgot. The game one from Dr. Edition, that was easily the best showing, and he's always been quite a good player, but that was easily the best showing we've seen from him in the CEA period. And he beat a staggeringly difficult opponent. I can tell you, I would have lost that game 100% going up against the same stuff. Like, I would have absolutely lost that. So yeah, definitely tell him he has the steadfast badge of approval for sure. No, you're right. Matfus has been consistent, always coming to play, always putting up good showings, and oftentimes I think playing 2 matches a week in many scenarios. So yeah.
Yep.
So it's great to see that not only you're getting some new talent, some new blood, but also the regulars are continuing to kind of go hard, go strong. And well, like I said, as always, it is such a pleasure to have you on. You're just the shining example of what members of the StarCraft 2 community should be, and I think I think it's really, really great to see your positive attitude.
Thank you so much. That means a lot coming from you.
And yeah, thank you so much. And well, that is gonna do it for the call for now. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Yeah, you too. I'll see you guys later.
And once again, that was T-Dragon there, the lovely gentleman from the UCSD. And, well, we are going to put up another quick break screen, and then we're going to bring on Exiled, the captain of the Zeratools. So we will be right back. Awesome. And here we are. I am joined by Exiled, member of Alpha X, and captain of the Zeratools. First things first, why don't you, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, hey, I'm Exiled. My name is Ken. I'm in my senior year at a university called Ontario Tech here in Canada for engineering. You can see my robot behind me.
I was gonna mention the robot. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, unfortunately, it's a smaller university. There's not a lot of StarCraft players here, so I reached out and tried to organize a wildcard team this year, and that's who you saw play today.
Nice. Yeah. No, that's really freaking cool. Sorry, did you say you're from UOIT?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, so just in Oshawa, Ontario there.
Yeah. I think there's actually quite a strong StarCraft 2 pedigree from there.
Yeah, they're all alumni now, but
yeah.
You were saying Juggernaut Jason played for us back in the former collegiate days.
Exactly.
When we fielded team, and we had some former like Wings Delivery like semi-pro guys too. Like Rise was there, that's an old name, and Ryuga on Rival. So like we had a sick team for a while.
Yeah, no, I remember back when I was captaining the University of Golf team.
Oh, very nice.
We played at least a couple of sets against you. I don't remember how they went, but I remember playing against you guys, and you were definitely like one of the stronger teams in the region. So it's cool to see that kind of continue.
I'm the last survivor, but you know, I'm still trying to rep the school strong, and I love collegiate StarCraft, so it's nice to be able to play.
Yeah, no, it's really cool to see that. And well, first things first, I want to ask, how did you come up with the name the Zeratools?
So before some of our non-Protoss members reached out, we realized very quickly that this wildcard team was turning into like a Grandmaster Protoss assortment. So the name the Zeratools came pretty naturally. You know, like someone linked like the little Chad meme, the head, and then I thought, oh, you know, he's a Chad, he's a, you know, tool, sorry, but so Zeratools, you know, we're all scumbag GM Protosses ruining the collegiate league. The name felt right, you know.
Nice. I love that. I love that. Especially the Chad one is a very good. Yeah, a very good one.
Yeah, it's our Discord name, and also on the Play CEA app. When you face us, you'll see that one too.
Yeah. Actually, I'll see. I don't think I can pop it up, but it's on there. It's very easy to find.
It's a good name.
Exactly. So how did you do the recruiting again then? I guess then for the team.
Yeah. So the first thing I tried to do was like reach out to my university. Like I knew, I still have the contacts of all of the CSL guys, and I'm coming off of an internship. So the team sort of died when I left and everyone graduated. So I tried to scour my university, just through like our own subreddit and there's a few other ways, Facebook groups and stuff. So we have a gaming thing, and but I no luck. Everyone's gone. So then I started noticing that a lot of other people were using the Discord here for the CEA, being like, I don't have a team, what do I do? And I sort of decided to pull in the people that were actively trying to get on the team, and then I did a couple posts on like some common Discords through the StarCraft community. We found it looked sketchy for a while, like we weren't sure if we were going to be like able to even enter a team, and then for a while we were considering 2 teams trying to make things more fair, and but it's tough with everyone's like being a full-time student to commit every week, and so I think it's better that, you know, we are able to pull a big roster, and you saw some of that too.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. And to speak to that a little bit, it's cool that the CEA, the way they do it, such that you can field, if you only even have like 3 available players, you can still field a full roster with that. Thanks to the way the 2v2s work, the 1v1s work, and just all the rule set there. So I mean, just another shout out to the CEA for some cool stuff, and good on you for organizing that, putting that all together. So I guess normally I do this with each individual team. I guess since you guys don't necessarily have a university, it's a little tricky, but I'm still going to ask something about you obviously are at the UOIT. Tell me a fun fact about the university, or UOIT. Tell me something that other people might not know.
Okay, well, just a little background. It's like a huge commuter school, so it's difficult to find you know, like friends, especially like outside the classroom on campus and stuff. So video games have sort of helped pin that together. There's a huge gaming scene here, which is awesome. You know, it's a cool way to meet people, and I think like we have like a school sanctioned esports team, which is pretty unique. It's not as awesome as it used to be, but I'd say a cool fact about UIT is we have like a school sponsored and funded esports program, and it's unfortunate that we don't have any StarCraft players in there besides me, but that's a cool fact about the school for anyone maybe looking to shop around in Ontario universities and stuff.
Yeah. It's a great like tech university. Like there's a lot of like really cool stuff. I know that there's like a am I saying this, like a wind turbine or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a fully functional, yeah, like some very cool engineering stuff.
The university is known for engineering, particularly like automotive engineering, and then also nursing is pretty huge here. Especially it's like both programs are gaining popularity quite a bit. But we have a huge wind tunnel, actually like down the street from me. I live pretty close to campus, and we get like car companies in there all the time testing aerodynamics and stuff.
That is really freaking cool, actually.
Yeah.
So now this transitions perfectly. Tell me about the robot. Tell me
Oh.
about the guy behind you.
Okay, so at least like in Canada, you got to do like a capstone undergraduate like cumulative project at the end of your undergrad. Basically, the goal is to pull everything that you've learned into like an application, and then potentially try to do some new research. The camera isn't on it right now, but I was exposed through my internship to like computer vision and like that field of like engineering, like mainly software. And so this robot ideally is going to drive around an outside area and sort of map exactly how the ground texture is and where the trees are, say in a forested environment. So we're looking for like an exploratory type robot, and this is a cheap way to kind of get the hardware we need for that.
That is really cool. That's like a predecessor of like exploring other planets type stuff, like Mars rover type stuff, you know, right?
Yeah, for sure. I see value in it, like for like say you just bought a bunch of forests and you don't really know what's in your land, and like satellite imaging can't get through the trees.
Yeah, yeah.
It'd be nice to just hit go and let this robot drive around and spit out like a satellite map, even though that's not possible. That's just my own research. Yeah.
That is a very cool concept. Damn, that's really neat. So I guess switching gears back to StarCraft 2 stuff again.
Yeah, for sure.
So how do you kind of choose the like who plays each week? I know T Dragon was mentioning that you guys try and kind of, or maybe Bamwolf might have been mentioning that you guys try and kind of match a little bit to what you expect they're gonna play. But yeah, tell us about how you like kind of try and keep yourselves from being too OP, I guess.
Yeah, good point. I didn't want to talk about that because you know, it's easy to look at this wildcard team like we're 3-0 now and be like, oh man, they're just a bunch of GMs ruining the collegiate league. But
yeah,
like we're really conscious. Like I said, I loved playing collegiate StarCraft as part of the UIT team, and I would feel upset if just a wildcard team came in and kicked my butt. So it's more so oriented on like we look at the lineup of the team that we get matched with every week, and then if I don't know sort of the rating of these players, I'll ask their captain and try to match up, somewhat close MMR.
Mm-hmm.
Because you need to realize that like if you're silver in StarCraft 2 and you're going to a college across North America, you're probably not actively searching for a way to get into the CEA right now. So a lot of the players that did come to the wildcard team are like GM or Masters 1 and stuff like that. So
yeah,
we try our best to MMR match. We expected Flume this week from UCSD, and that's why you saw like some higher rated players. Like we expected, UCSD to be like a really viable contender for even our A team. We didn't see that, but they still put up a really good fight. But every week we try to make it somewhat fair. The best I can.
No, it's tricky. It's tricky matching things up, and you can't tell your players like, oh man, like don't play too hard today. Like it's against our nature. Like you're playing StarCraft 2. It's already the hardest competitive game out there. Like 1v1. Like you're not gonna be like if someone's like, hey, take it easy. They're gonna be like, no. And like just to spite you, they'll play with an extra 50 APM. Like it's
especially when you start talking about like a televised match, like no one, like regardless of your rank, wants to go on a stream and like show anything less than the best they can play, right? So
exactly.
Like if I can't get a close match at selection, there's no way you can tell a player to take it easy. Or I mean, you saw me clowning around a little bit in the 2v2 having some fun, but I still wanted to win, and so did the team.
Exactly. I mean, you went for the disruptors, but like you still like did disruptor things with them.
I was playing probably as fast as I could in that 2v2 still. So
for sure, yeah. No, and it ended up with some pretty explosive clippable moments. That's for sure.
XL games tend to usually do either on my way or an epic fail. That's usually how they'll end.
But yeah, no. Thanks for joining me. Before I let you go, is there anyone or anyone you want to shout out on the team, and you're like, yeah, like this person's like really gone the extra mile, or yeah, anything at all?
Yeah. First of all, shout out to the CEA staff, to you guys for casting, and Whisper. Not many people know him, but he's a great admin. He's run Collegiate for a long time, and a really reasonable guy. So shout out to the CEA staff for putting all this together, especially when there was really no collegiate scene for a period of time. They've stepped in and filled that. That's awesome of them. And then the guy on the team, shout out to White Ninja today. He took the loss pretty well. We all hop into Discord together, despite us being from around, and we'll watch the games, have the person drop off the call, and make fun of them a bit. So back and forth. So White Ninja losing to the Diamond 2 today he was getting some jabs after, but shout out to the guy for agreeing to play this week and for taking that on the chest.
Nice. That's good. It's good that you, like, even though you guys are from different schools and different areas, like even as far as EU, you're able to still kind of build a community around it. That's actually really awesome and a testament to like what you've put together.
Yeah, the CEA has helped us like build like still like a somewhat like collegiate team camaraderie. It's a cool thing that we're building into, and we're excited to keep playing right up through the end of the season.
Awesome. That's really cool, and I'm glad to hear that. Hopefully we'll continue to get to see you, and as playoffs rolls around, we'll get to see the full unleashed power. the training gear comes off, and yeah, hopefully we'll get to see that. Thank you so much for joining me. Yeah, have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you very much. You as well. Bye for now.
Bye-bye. All right, and that is it for me. A big thank you to the two teams and the two captains, Exiled and T-Dragon from the Zeratools and UCSD Tritons, respectively. Thank you so much for the interviews. You guys were great. Really good interviews. Awesome. And, well, that is going to do it for me. Beowulf, I believe he had to run, so unfortunately was not able to bring him back on here for the end. But, yeah, that is going to do it for us. Big thank you to everyone from the CEA. Once again, make sure to follow this channel here. In addition, yeah, big thank you to the admins. Whisper puts in a ton of hard work. Brad, all the people who are on the back end doing a lot of hard work, and it really is appreciated. Goes a long way. And I think that's going to do it for me for the evening. If you want to follow me on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/steadfastsc, twitter.com/steadfastsc2. Yeah, join the Discord, all that jazz. In addition, you can find Beowulf on his Twitch, twitch.tv/Beowulf. I believe his Discord is also twitter.com/Beowulf. It's either Beowulf or Beowulf SC2, but yeah, you should be able to find it. And that's going to do it for us. Thank you so much. Hope you had a wonderful day, wonderful matches, and enjoy the rest of your evening.